on Friday Night SmackDown, it was announced that Universal Champion Roman Reigns will take on Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And now there is controversy regarding this matchup. It has been rumored for the last couple of years that at some point we would see a brand new Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins feud. However, many fans did not expect that it would happen now. The reason being, well, Roman Reigns is a member of SmackDown and Seth Rollins is a member of Monday Night Raw. And both are heels. Why didn't Seth Rollins have to earn his match with Roman? How is he getting a Universal title match out of the blue? Whereas usually you have to go through gauntlets. You have to win a battle royal. You have to win the Royal Rumble. You have to, win a tournament. But there's a lot of backstory about why this happened. And a lot of it is not good. Vince McMahon was presented with a few different possible wrestlers from SmackDown who could take on Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. The possibilities included Xavier Woods, Cesaro, and Ricochet. And as for Drew McIntyre, he's out for several months with an injury. Vince McMahon felt that none of those names were big enough for a Royal Rumble pay-per-view match against Roman Reigns. So Vince McMahon said, well, you know what? We're going to throw out logic in terms of how wrestlers get title matches in WWE, where you have to go through gauntlets and tournaments and battle royals. And instead, we're just going to give Seth Rollins a gift title match. We're just going to pull it out of thin air and give it to him, even though he's on another brand. So none of this makes sense. And that is why this feels so thrown together. And we're only about 3 weeks away from the pay-per-view. And the current plan is to have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns build up their match as much as they can. And then at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, they'll have their match. And that will be it. The feud will end. This will not be a 3-month feud. This will be a 1-match feud. And because it's just a filler match, it's a match that they had to figure out on the fly, and they needed a big name to go against Roman, so they pulled Seth from Raw and moved him over to SmackDown for right now. This is a big matchup. However, the reasons for it happening are a bit sad, because it would have been much better if they were able to truly have a really long feud with Seth and Roman and build it up the right way instead of just throwing it together at the last second. But no matter how you look at it, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title is a huge match, and even though there are some sad reasons why it's happening, it's going to be a match that a lot of fans are going to be looking forward to. Brock Lesnar is facing a health crisis, and WWE officials are very worried. So in the opening segment of Friday Night SmackDown, we saw Brock Lesnar go face-to-face with Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman was in Brock Lesnar's corner, but there was a moment when Paul Heyman accidentally distracted Brock Lesnar. Roman used this distraction to Superman punch Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar fell to the mat. Now that part of the show was completely scripted, but it didn't turn out the way it was supposed to, because in the script, Brock's injury to his jaw was supposed to be fake. However, Roman accidentally hit Brock so hard that he actually injured Brock's jaw for real. The Superman punch was supposed to be the fake Superman punch that Roman has done a million times. However, maybe Roman having a little bit of ring rust from being out, he hit Brock too hard, And you could see when Brock was down on the mat that he was grabbing his jaw, and it looked like he was also kind of knocked senseless from the punch. And it didn't look like it was acting. It looked pretty real. But with wrestling, you never know what's real and what's fake. It turns out that according to backstage reports, that when Brock came to the backstage area, he couldn't speak and he was in severe pain from the punch. And he was then checked on by WWE doctors, and they determined that the injury was very serious and they had to get him to the hospital as soon as possible. And as of right now, Brock Lesnar is still in the hospital with a severe injury to his jaw. And his match with Bobby Lashley at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is now in question because we're about 3 weeks away from the pay-per-view, but if Brock cannot recover by that time, then who knows what's going to happen. We already saw Roman Reigns not appear at the last WWE pay-per-view. Well, what happens if another big star can't appear at the next WWE pay-per-view? Because if Brock Lesnar has to sit this one out, well, WWE will once again have to figure out, what do we do? But right now, WWE officials are hoping for the best. Now, in terms of WWE needing him for the next couple of weeks, Brock Lesnar was not actually scheduled to appear on any TV shows until the week before the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So if Brock needs to either stay in the hospital or go home and rest and recover, they're not going to have to rearrange anything. But if the injury is so serious that he has to be out for more than 3 weeks, then this could do major damage to the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, because if Bobby Lashley can't face the WWE champion, then what's going to happen? What are your thoughts about Roman Reigns taking on Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view? And what are your thoughts about the rumor that Brock Lesnar was injured by Roman Reigns and could be out of action for several months? Leave a comment below and give me your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification so you are notified when we upload a new video.